Y'all bless. Y'all bless. Yeah, camera a little blurred, but I ain't worried about being seen. I just hope y'all can hear me. Holy Spirit just put in me, man. Unification in the body right now is necessary. It's needed. Definitely. You know, as most people know or probably see, the enemy is making himself known. He's causing more discord and division. If it ain't racial tension, it's gender tension. It's you versus the old. It's just so much deceit and division going on. And I look at how those in the body of Yah, those in the body of Yahshua, how we are quick to point out the flaws of those in the world when you take that word is the pierce, or what he say, it's like a double-edged sword, because when you use it to cut somebody, it's gonna cut you too, right? And I'll be the first to say, I know I'm not a man without sin, even though I'm trying to walk my best and walking this thing out and then doing it to the end and not giving up, you know. But he said we supposed to be judges, but we supposed to judge rightly. You can't get that log out of somebody else's eye when you got a whole moat in your eye, you feel me? And I look at how content creators of Yah, you know, sometimes we do use the word for entertainment, you know, as we persecute or point out the flaws. But sometimes we gotta look in within, you know. And I get it, because we gotta put light on what the enemy got going on. We gotta put light on this wicked situation. But don't get immersed in it. Don't get consumed by it. Because our main agenda should be always focusing on the Most High and staying aligned with what the Most High had for us. Because if we stay constantly paying attention to what the enemy got going on, how can we ever plan on hearing from the Most High, you know? I just feel like unification in the body is needed, because our generation, our younger generation, our future is at stake. Yah said, if my people would just turn back to me and repent, he will hear from us. Think about it, man. When them children of Israel were going through all the things they was going through, being through captivity, Yah brought them out every time they turned back to him. But it's like now we come to a generation where not only is they excavating or trying to excavate Yah out of the picture, you know, but you allowing room for the enemy to move in swiftly, and without our protector, without our fortress. Because what he say, not only if a man who don't have self-control is like a city without walls, but if a whole nation, a whole civilization, a whole community doesn't have self-control, there's no watchman on the wall, and then we allowing room for the enemies. And I get it. Day by day, it seems like you might be preaching to the choir. But when we look at that word, you know, we keep hammering away as much as we can. But do have the understanding that some people are not going to want to hear this truth, no matter how much you give it to them straight, raw, and clear and factual. because they already made up in their mind and their heart the route that they're going to go. And what did he tell his disciples? You give the people the word. If they accept it, then you bless them. If they don't, you brush your feet off and you keep on moving. We can't sit here. This ain't the time for us to keep throwing our pearls among swine. Keep giving the scraps to the dogs who don't want to do nothing with it. And right now, Yah said, I'm starting with the house of Israel when I come to judge. So if we're going to judge, we need to judge within the house. We need to get the house unified. We can't sit up there try to go up against the enemy and we got holes in our armor. We can't go up against the enemy when we don't have a strong, firm foundation in our belief systems. The enemy is putting in doubt. He's using the church for a mockery, And like I said, yeah, we all, those who know, we seen the Grammys, we seen how, what was the music called? Unholy. We see the perversion. We see all that is taking place. But your silence is an agreement. So if you're not going to be a watchman on the wall, then you're not going to speak up against the things that is going against the Most High Yah. You might as well just join the riffraff. You might as well just, join the other side. I mean, we have a young generation that is thirsting and hungering for the word of Yah. But we have a generation over top of them that done been through traumas, that done been through the ringer, that's trying to get a better understanding on how to move forward, on how to do things. And you got a generation over top of them that, they lived a course not too much different, but, they done had some time in the game to kind of figure things out. Man, what is it? Reach one, teach one, man. We really have to unify. We really have to become a tight-knit family in the kingdom right now, because he's coming after the babies. I was listening to Sister Deborah, and I think it's the Watchman Report, well, his wife, and she was just stating how, I think it's a herd, how their formation usually is. You'll have a herd and all of them will be facing outwards. But in the middle of that herd is all the children. Who is protecting the babies, man? Who is, and that will always be on my spirit, man. Our babies, and then on top of that, us as men. Some of us as men go through mental illness. We go through the issues of trying to be, and like I say again, it's not to exclude any race or anything, but I gotta come to my melanin brothers, because that's who I can relate to, because I'm a melanin black man in America who is trying my hardest to do everything, that Yah is asking me to do. Be a father, be a husband, be an upright, righteous man, and do his will. But when you done been through so many different ups and downs and traumas, and you battling yourself on a daily, because like I said, the flesh and the spirit is going to war with each other, because the spirit doesn't have no fellowship with the natural, and the natural has no fellowship with the spirit. What you understand spiritually, the natural has no comprehending. And when you walking around and you got a lot of people still in their natural carnal state, some people not even there, because they just the shell of themselves, because something else has already took hold of them. And you got to fight with yourself, but then you got to fight outwards. You got to find that inner strength. You got to find that inner lion to stand up on all 10 and keep going and keep fighting And, you know, day by day by day by day, while you got so much coming at you, trying to beat you down, trying to make you feel less of, but you got to keep turning to Yah. Yes, yes, yes. And you got to want this like you want air. And it can become tiresome. It can become a stressful thing. And this is why I say unification is needed. Yes, we supposed to go on our journey. We all got different paths. We all got different occupations in this fight. But at the end of the day, as a body, and we come together, we fellowship, and we can heal one another. We can encourage one another. You know, yeah, we could keep worry about what's going on the outwards, what the enemy got going on, and the things that we have no control over. But the things that we do have control over, we got to stay focused on that. You know, I look at our history and go back in time, and just to see all the sacrifices that was made from those great men of valor who stood in the gap to make sure their communities was in good condition. You know, from the Black Panther movement, you know, I even give it to the Nation of Islam. You know, everybody has a good perspective when they starting these things out, but then the corruption always seems to seep in, even with the church. It was profaned. The enemy always takes what's good and try to profane it. But what God say, everything that's good, or even if it goes for bad, it's going to work out for Yah. But we got to focus on Yah. Yahudah. Yahshua came down here, and he was in the midst of all the stuff that we go through nowadays. And who knows, back then it may have been even 10 times worse. But right now, we so much in the sleep state. We in the docile state. Most people want to keep their eyes closed. What's those little 3 monkeys that you see? You know, I speak no evil, or more so, don't speak up. Or don't see no evil, or more so, don't see what's going on. You know, I ain't see nothing. And in our culture that we've been taught, oh, you see something, oh, you mind your business, you don't say nothing. You feel me? It's the things that we've been taught, and this is why we have to renew our mind. And you got the other monkey that say he don't hear nothing. You could be sitting right next door, and your neighbors, and you hear your neighbors, the husband beating on the wife, or the wife could be beating on the husband. I mean, nowadays, man, you never know. You know. It could be man beating on another man. It could be a woman. It's just the things that we choose to stand by and let take place in our society. And I get it. We in a land that wasn't built or made for us. But that doesn't mean we can't build in a land what is made for us. Yah said he stores up the wealth of the righteous through the wicked. But we got to turn back to the Most High. There's so many prophecies and prophetess out here, you know, and we don't pay them no attention. We don't hear from people because we don't believe. But the things that we choose to believe in don't make sense. We don't have no faith in Yah. But like I use this as a metaphor. Half the time when you go sit in the seat, you don't know who made that seat, but you have faith that that seat gonna hold you up when you sit in it. It's the same faith we gotta have in our Heavenly Father. And see, people gotta understand the difference between a religious spirit and those who just are believers and followers of Yah. We need discernment now and days, because the enemy have infiltrated the church. And yes, he's making it look like a mockery right now. You know, when you got the church hand in hand with the world, because like he said, if you are a friend of the world's, then you know friend of Yah. If you are the world's, it will accept you. But all us who've been rejected, all of us who have to go through the hardships and go through the ups and downs, gotta go through the battles, you know, And the world would say, label this, oh, you got depression, or you got some type of anxiety, or you got, no, these are all demonic oppressions that's coming upon you because you have a calling, because you have a gift, and the Most High is trying to stop you. And I know it's a lot of naysayers who come across pages like this, of content creators like this, and if it don't really tickle your ear or tickle your fancy, you don't really care to stop and listen. You know, you rather hear the gossip report. You rather hear something about some drama that happened, man. You don't want to hear the encouragement. We don't sprue enough encouragement out and positivity out. It's just all negative. But what he say, you reap what you sow. For years, this world, which is an organism, we've been sowing and planting negativity, and now we just birthing negativity. So if it ain't negative, if it ain't drama, if it ain't, action packed, we don't want to have nothing to do with it. And that don't make sense. Yes. We live and we die because of the things that our forefathers did. But who wants to live in a society where every day that's your only thought process? And I'm not saying everybody, because some people just live freely, carefree, man, but those who see and those who are opening themselves up to the truth, and I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer, because that's not what I'm here to do. I just be wanting to put some light on the situation of what we go through and what we endorse, And I know people don't want to believe the truth about us as the melanin people being the chosen, but I mean, history speaks for itself. Ain't nothing new up under the sun. When the children of Israel was in slavery for those 400 years in Egypt, it wasn't light-skinned people, you feel me? I don't even like to say white or black, because at the end of the day, those are colors. We're not colors, we're tribal people. We come from a lineage of a tribe. Either you came from Shem, or you came from Ham, or you came from Jephthah, the three sons of Noah, who repopulated this. That word, which we call the Torah, that word which we call the Bible, that most people want to say it was passed down by the slave master. No, see, the people who taught it to us were our enemy, not in the physical, but in the spiritual. Just like the Pharisees and Sadducees, they had the Torah, right? They had the truth, right? But because they had the truth, they sprued the truth the way they wanted it to sprue. So that's why when Yahshua came on the scene and a lot of people encountered him, some was able to believe and some wasn't. It ain't nothing different than nowadays. We get the word, we allow it to manifest, but we don't take it serious. To be a follower and to be a believer, like I say again, this is a lifestyle. I don't do this because I'm trying to get kudos or good or points by the world. I don't care about that. Like I say, I go through my suffering because I made this covenant with Yah. And if Yahshua had to go through it, then I mean I'm going to have to go through it. He has given all us a charge and commissioned all of us to do the work. And I know this ain't, high topic with a lot of people, but for those who it is, we got to get up out of that slumber. We got to get out of the labels that the system want to give to us. Conspiracy theorists, hypocrites, overzealous, religious, holier than thou. Why? Because I don't want to conform to your system. Because I don't want to be perverted. Because I don't want to do things contrary to the word, to the Most High. I'm a weirdo. Well, I'm a weirdo. I'm a weirdo who in love with the Most High Yah. And the only thing I want is for my people to come up out of the slumber. All I want for my children is to be able to live a life of what was promised to us as the chosen. But see, because our forefathers didn't heed to the words that was told to them, that's just why we going through what we going through. But understand that it is a great awakening happening right now. And for those who don't want to believe, that's on you. But understand that the words and that the gospel is being preached, and that the people are standing in the gap, but we don't spread light on them. We want to spread light on those who's doing wrong versus those who doing right, because we in a society where everything's been flipped upside down. So if I do all the wrong in the world, I get the attention. But if I do right, I'm a simp, I'm a lame, I'm all these bywords, I'm all this stuff that don't even make sense, man. It's crazy how people can see the truth and still just choose to walk away from it. I mean, but what difference was it when Yahshua came down and he was giving the truth and he was giving facts? And, they would say that it was the religious people who killed him. And it was. Because religion is what's killing most people nowadays. That's why I say it's a difference between religion and relationship. Because a relationship allows you to see the truth and accept it and move in it. That's why he said, wait, y'all said, you're going to worship the Father in spirit and in truth, not in hypocritical lies. So all I say, man, is if we're going to be about Yah, we have to allow him to be the center. We can't be the center. So for all those shepherds out there trying to be the center, what Paul say? The Lord put a thorn in my side to keep me from boasting. See. Paul knew with great power came great responsibility. But he knew his limit as a man. That's why he said, I'd rather be a prisoner for Christ. See, when you put men in situations, and I'm going to close with this, Yah didn't want us as the children of Israel to have a king because he was our king. He didn't want nobody to govern us because he was governing us. But see, because we were his children, just like the children of Israel when they was in the wilderness, what they did, they complained, they cried, and Yah gave them what they wanted. They asked for food. Oh, he gave them more than they can even imagine, that it was coming out of their pores. He gave them manna from heaven. See, Yah will give you what you ask for, but be careful what you ask for. But like he said, the prayers of the righteous is what prevails. So if you constantly moving around knowing that you're not moving according to the word of Yah, then you can't expect that Yah is going to hear you. Now you're going to get upset and you're going to be like, oh, I don't believe in a Yah because why he allow me to go through this? And people say, if it's a Yah, why he allow innocent people to die, this and that? What makes you think that person was innocent? Even when it comes down to a child, because like I used this before and I say it again. When those surrounding nations came up against Saul and came up against David, Yah said go over there and slaughter everything. From the cattle to the children. Don't let nothing survive. Why? Because we got to understand that it is a different species of human out here. It's a different seed. You have Yah seed of people, and you have the enemy seed. So even if that baby get born, and I said this a couple of days in my video, some children were bred to worship Satan, and y'all know everything. So he knew if this child was having a change of heart. But from what I understand from reading the words, when the Nephilims, and I know I said I was going to end, but it just ran into it. When the Nephilims, or the fallen angels, came down and had sex with the daughters of men, and they created these Gerber babies, these Nephilim, these men of renown, these giants or whatnot, those fallen angels went to Enoch to commission on their behalf, petition on their behalf. And Yah told Enoch that y'all are not getting back up here in heaven, and your children are going to die. Going to kill them off. So those surrounding nations understand was inhabited by fallen angel seeds and DNA. And as we have it to this day, as you see, it's people who reject Yah, not even giving him the opportunity. Why? Because it's already in their DNA, in their mindset, in their spirit, that I have no chance with Yah. This is why those who see us and see the favor that we have and the light that we have, they hate us without a cause. For the simple fact, they know our position, they know our favor with Yah. But see, Yah said, I give you grace. And that was when Yahshua came on the scene. Because he said, I didn't come just for the house of Israel. He came for the whole world. Meaning he gave us, even those who were not of Yah, the Gentiles, an opportunity to get it grafted in. Only if you were willing to change your ways and your thought process and live according to the will of Yah. Study, people. The word speaks for itself. I don't care how many people try to say, oh, that word contradicts itself. No, it don't. If you read it in spirit and you understand who Yah talking to, because like I said, every talking point in that Bible was for an individual set of people. But majority it was for us as the children of Israel. It was our heritage, it was our culture, and it was instructions and directions of how we should operate while we down here. And we supposed to be the ones teaching this word. It shouldn't have been the enemy giving it to us. And see, since he did regurgitate it and try to feed it back to us, he fed it back to us the way he wanted us, so that way we can be fooled and we can fall for the bamboozle and we can get tricked out of our heritage the same way he tricked Adam out of his position, the same way he been tricking people of Yah out of their position through history. Hold on to Yah, people. Stay blessed, man.